Hey guys, this is Dr. Callahan for Algebra 1 Semester 2 for study guide number 1. Today we're going to go over questions number 21 to 25 in person. So you should have this page from your guided notes. And again, it's study guide number 1. So we're going to start off with number 21 right here. So take a moment and read the question. Make sure you guys underline the important information. So it says, since the year 2001, the population of a community is growing exponentially. And remember, with exponentially, usually there's like a multiplier and then that X is on the top of the exponent, as illustrated in the table. And so in 2001, there are 1,200 people. But then when it jumped to 2006, obviously that 1,200 people went down to 4,400 people. So it just went up very quickly. So the exponential growth rate is 1.3. What are the units for the rate of growth in the table? So the question here is asking you specifically, what is the unit for the growth rate? So the growth rate are the numbers right here, the one that I'm highlighting. What do those numbers represent? They don't represent year because year is right here in orange. What does the yellow part represent? So orange represent year, so that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking is, what does the yellow part represent? What do you think it represents? What does it say right here? People per year. So your correct answer is A as in apple. I know D also says people, but the more correct answer is people per year. So if you pick D, it will be incorrect technically, even though it is still right, but it's just not the most specific answer. So for number 21, make sure you select A as an apple. And again, part of your test is going to be on your ability to interpret graphs. So make sure you don't miss this question because that's a really easy question. All right, number 22. So go ahead and read the question, highlight or underline the important information. So you have two different equations. You have an equation in orange right there and an equation right here in yellow. So you have two different equations, okay? We're going to compare them and determine which one is correct for A, B, C, or D. Well, if you take a look at this, do you guys notice how the number 3 is exactly the same right there? Yeah, you see how they're exactly the same? Okay. Now the number that's different is, let me move that out of the way. The number that's different is going to be the 4 and the 2, okay? Those numbers are different, and what they're called are multipliers. And they're the growth rate, okay? But what I'm looking for are the 3. Those 3 have the same numbers. So C says the function increases at the same rate. Well, guess what? They don't increase at the same rate because one increases at 4, the other one increases at 3. So you know C is not the correct answer. But what they do have common is 3. And what is the 3? 3 is going to be the y-intercept, which is your starting point. So they have the same starting point. They both start at 3. So which answer there says they both start at 3, which is the same y-intercept? It is D as in dog. So if you have a question that's like number 22, D as in dog is the correct answer. The 4 and the 2, those are the growth rate. Okay, so they're growing at different numbers. The first one's a 4, second one is a 2. So those are growth, but what they have in common is 3, and that's the y-intercept. Number 23, what is the solution for this? So they have to have the same base number. This is 4 to the x. For 64, 4 to the what power give me 64? This is where you need your calculator, you guys, and this is where your calculator comes in handy. So grab your calculator if you have one next to you, or you could try to do this in your head and go, 4 to the what power gives me 64? I wonder. So here's my calculator. And if you grab your calculator, you just put 4 to the 1 power is 4. 4 to the second power isn't giving me 16. 4 to the third power is going to give me 64. So I know that this is 4 to the third power. And since both of these numbers are exactly the same right here, you just cancel them. X equals the top, which is just 3. And that's C as in cat. We're not done yet, so don't pack up your stuff yet. We have 2 more questions to go. Number 24. Number 24, 5 to the 2x minus 9. Think about it. 5 to the what power gives you 125? 5 to the 1 is 5. 5 to the second power is 25. 5 to the third is 125. So then since both of these have the same base numbers, you can cancel them. Equal the top exponents to each other. Solve them by adding the 9 on both sides. And then lastly, dividing it by 2. So your answer is 6. And that's going to be 8 as in apple. But remember, they have to have the same base, which is 5. Okay. Last question, number 25. What is a solution to the system graphed? Solution means, do you guys see how there's 2 lines? There's this line right here in yellow, and there is this line right here in green. Where are those 2 lines touching? That's going to be your answer. It's touching right here at this red point. That red point is x is 2, y is 4. So is that A, B, C, or D? It is A as in apple. And those are the 5 questions that's going to be on your test. So we're done with this. Tomorrow we'll continue on with number 26, but we're almost halfway through your study guide for study guide number 1, you guys.